Have you ever imagined yourself in a distant land, where every sound, every fragrance, and every color feels unfamiliar, yet mysteriously familiar at the same time? Where every detail seems to hold an ancient secret, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. Picture yourself walking along a soft earthen path, where the last rays of the sun dissolve into shades of gold and purple, painting the horizon as if it were a canvas created solely for your eyes. The air is warm yet refreshing, carrying with it the fragrance of flowers you have never seen before, delicate petals that seem to have bloomed just for this night, perfuming your arrival. The silence that floats over the landscape is not empty, but alive with hidden whispers, as though the secrets of the night breathe in unison with you, inviting you to rest in harmony with this new world. The first step in this unknown land is always the most enigmatic. There is a lightness beneath your feet, as if the ground itself had been waiting for centuries for your presence. The trees around you are unlike any you've known. Their branches curve with graceful elegance, and their leaves shimmer in silver tones beneath the rising moonlight. Each leaf seems to reflect a forgotten memory, as though the forest were woven from mirrors that capture emotions long left behind. The wind drifts softly, not only brushing against your skin but whispering stories impossible to understand fully, stirring a deep and irresistible curiosity within. And something even more fascinating emerges, the strange sensation that this place, despite its newness, awakens memories that don't belong to this lifetime. It feels as though you have been here before, in another age, walking these same paths, watching the same reflections of light on the stones beneath your feet. This blend of strangeness and familiarity creates a hypnotic charm, as though the boundary between dream and wakefulness is dissolving. The sky above reveals a dance of colors. Stars emerge earlier than expected, punctuating the heavens with glowing sparks that seem to wave in greeting. They do not merely illuminate, they watch, silent guardians over your arrival. Among them, constellations unknown to earthly maps trace mysterious figures, telling stories of forgotten eras. And every glance upward carries a lingering question: will these lights guide the traveler's sleep? Will they unveil mysteries only dreams can translate? The air, thick with softness, brings not only perfume but faint melodies as well. From somewhere far off, the sound of running water echoes, like an invitation to move closer. This hypnotic rhythm envelopes you like a natural lullaby, coaxing your body to relax, your mind to slow down, preparing every cell for rest. With every breath, a new layer of peace settles in. With every exhale, the outside world fades further away, and the heart draws nearer to the stillness of deep sleep. It is within this setting that the traveler appears. Her steps are unhurried, not from weariness but from wonder. Her eyes, still alert, explore the unfolding landscape as her thoughts dissolve into pure sensation. Her body carries the marks of long journeys, yet her spirit feels newly awakened in the presence of the unknown. She exhales a long, steady sigh, releasing the weight of distant roads and opening herself to the promises of the night's silence. This sigh is not merely physical, it is an act of surrender, a sign of trust that this night will bring the rest her soul has been longing for. The land responds to her sigh as though it were alive. The wind softens, the leaves glimmer brighter, and the sound of water draws nearer. An invisible bond forms between the traveler and the environment, as though this place has waited only for her to reveal its hidden wonders. This moment stirs an inevitable question: what makes this distant refuge so special, that it welcomes as home someone who has never been here before? With each passing second, the outer world dissolves further. The line between reality and imagination no longer exists. The traveler's body is guided into a small clearing where a wooden cabin rests, encircled by the gentle glow of lanterns swaying in the breeze. The windows are slightly open, allowing the fragrance of night-blooming flowers to drift inside. The space seems prepared with invisible care, as if every detail had been arranged to welcome not just a weary body, but a soul yearning for serenity. Inside, a gentle flame flickers, casting tranquil shadows across the walls. Soft fabrics cover a simple bed that feels as though it was made to cradle the deepest rest. It is impossible not to wonder, who prepared this space? Who lit the flame? Or could it be that the universe itself, recognizing the traveler's need, shaped this sanctuary in her honor? As she approaches the bed, her heartbeat slows. Her breathing finds a serene rhythm, mirroring the night's own quiet pulse. The first brush of fabric against her skin releases a wave of calm, as though every fiber had been woven with peace. She lies down slowly, eyes drifting closed, as the symphony of water, wind, and shimmering leaves surrounds her. Together they weave the perfect lullaby, guiding her toward the deepest of sleeps. Yet before slumber fully claims her, her mind lingers on a mystery. Who carved the faint symbols etched into the cabin's walls? What do the glowing designs beneath the firelight mean? Were they left by other wanderers who once found rest here, in lands unknown? Or are they the language of the place itself, a living memory hidden in wood and stone, telling stories only dreams can reveal? These questions do not demand answers now. Instead, they invite curiosity, a gentle wonder that holds the mind just long enough to marvel before surrendering to rest. Each question becomes an invisible doorway, opening paths for the imagination to travel once the dream world arrives. And then, the second sigh escapes. Deeper, longer, more liberating. In that moment, there is no boundary left between wakefulness and dreams. It is complete surrender to the night, to rest, to a peace so profound it envelopes not only the traveler, but all who share her journey. Time ceases to matter. The night is no longer just a backdrop, it becomes part of the body, part of the soul. The sigh drifts across the clearing, rides upon the wind, reaches the star-filled sky, and dissolves into silence. And within that silence, a promise is born: dreams will come. Dreams that may bring answers, or perhaps only deeper questions, but surely the renewal that every heart longs for. Thus the traveler falls asleep in unknown lands, and the night embraces her with its mystery, its beauty, and its serenity. A deep and peaceful sleep settles in, cradled by the murmur of water, the shimmer of stars, and the whispers of the wind telling endless stories. This is your moment. A time reserved just for you, away from the rush, away from the demands of the day, away from the voices that often fill your mind with endless tasks. Here, there are no expectations, no pressures, no urgency. Only the gentle embrace of night, settling like a soft cloak across your shoulders, surrounding your body with serenity and inviting you into deep rest. Imagine yourself sitting in a tranquil place, where every breath carries the power to transform unease into peace. This invitation asks for nothing, no effort, no struggle, only surrender. Breathe deeply. Inhale slowly, feeling the air fill every space within, bringing freshness and renewal. Hold that air for a moment, just long enough to sense how it touches every part of you, and then release it gently, letting go of everything you no longer need, the tension you've carried, the thoughts that refuse to quiet, the memories that no longer serve you. Each exhale is a key, unlocking more space for rest. And with every breath, your body learns that it can soften, your mind discovers it can float. Notice your shoulders dropping lightly, as if made of clouds dissolving into the sky. Feel your neck releasing, your eyelids growing heavier, the muscles in your legs and arms settling into stillness, like rivers that finally find calm after a long journey. Nothing is required of you now but to be here, present in this moment. Every part of you understands that the night is an invitation to rest, and you begin to realize that the simple act of breathing is enough to align your heart and mind with the silence that now surrounds the world. As you settle further, notice how the sounds around you begin to fade. What once felt like noise dissolves into the background, leaving only the tones that soothe. Your heartbeat slows into a steady rhythm, as if echoing the gentle pulse of the earth itself. Your breath grows deeper, more even, transforming into a natural melody that carries you inward. Every inhale is a dive into peace. Every exhale, a sigh of freedom. Now imagine a gentle light approaching, not harsh, but delicate, like the glow of distant stars. This light wraps around your body, warming you like an invisible blanket, protecting you while also expanding space within for serenity to grow. There is no hurry in the way it spreads, it simply flows, filling you from within, like a lantern illuminating every corner of your being. It is a silent promise that nothing can disturb the night prepared for you. And in this moment of surrender, a path appears before you. Not a road made of stone, but a trail woven from dreams. The steps you take upon it demand no effort. They are like gliding through the air, floating between two realities. This path leads you to a place where peace is not just a word but a presence. Where sleep is not emptiness, but a sacred encounter. Where every beat of your heart is matched by a soft echo that cradles you, reminding you that you belong to this space of absolute calm. Allow yourself to be guided. There is no need to control where the path will lead. The beauty lies in trusting that each step is safe, that each turn hides a gift, that each sigh opens doors to deeper serenity. It is like embarking on a journey already written, one that you were always meant to walk. A journey created for you alone, where the destination is not only physical rest but also a reunion with the purest, most tranquil part of who you are. As you surrender to this path, you notice how thoughts lose their strength. Those that once ran so quickly now drift slowly, like autumn leaves settling over a still lake. They arrive, but they do not disturb the surface. They simply touch the water and disappear. You begin to realize that you are not your thoughts, but the vast space between them. This space is infinite, silent, and boundless. It is here that the night embraces you. It is here that dreams are born. It is here that the traveler herself lays down before sleep. And there is a promise hidden within this invitation. A promise that when you surrender completely, sleep will arrive like a gentle tide washing over the shore, moving slowly, filling every corner without force, only with the natural rhythm of its flow. You do not need to chase sleep, it is sleep that comes to you. All you need to do is breathe, and let yourself be carried. Take another deep breath now. Feel the air enter, cool and renewing, and let it go with the certainty that every exhale brings you closer to absolute rest. This is your moment, the gift the night offers you, the space where you can lay aside every mask, every rush, every worry. It is the moment when you are simply yourself, whole and complete, ready to fall asleep in peace. And now, as calmness settles like a continuous melody, notice that the journey is only beginning. There are landscapes waiting to be discovered, symbols hidden upon invisible walls, stories etched into the stars that will soon reveal themselves in your dreams. This invitation does not end here, it is the doorway that opens into all that awaits. Step through it with serenity, with trust, with surrender. This is your moment. Allow the night to guide you. Allow the silence to embrace you. Allow the peace to envelop you. For on the other side of this invitation, there lies a deep, restorative sleep waiting to welcome you. A sleep that will ease your body, soothe your mind, and heal your heart. The sigh of the traveler is also your sigh, and in accepting it, you have already begun to drift into slumber in unknown lands. The traveler arrives at twilight. The horizon is painted with colors beyond naming, gold dissolving into amber, violet merging into deep blue, crimson folding delicately until it fades into shadow. The sky feels less like nature and more like a canvas, brushed by hands that belong to another world, as though the keepers of the night had prepared a masterpiece to welcome the one who dares to step beyond the familiar and into mystery. The earth, still damp from rains that had passed only hours before, exhales the fragrance of wet soil, a scent unlike any other, stirring dormant memories from places she has never known. They do not feel like memories from this life, but fragments from other times, as though belonging to dreams half remembered. She pauses, planting her feet firmly upon the soft ground, and breathes deeply. The air is thick yet refreshing, charged with renewal, as if every particle were carrying an invitation to be reborn. The silence around her is not empty, it is full. Within it, there is the breath of trees, the far-off rustling of silver leaves, the distant ripple of water tumbling over stones, and a whisper from nowhere that insists on following her steps. It is a silence heavy with presence, as if the entire land itself is aware of her arrival. With the very first step into this unknown land, she feels the weight of her journey begin to dissolve. It is as though the path recognizes her long endurance and, in gratitude, softens itself beneath her feet. The soil does not resist, it receives. Each grain feels designed for this precise moment. It becomes clear that she has not chosen this path at random, rather, it is the path that has chosen her. Around her, ancient trees rise in watchful stillness. Their trunks are tall and thick, veiled in moss that glimmers beneath the waning light. Between their branches, tiny lights appear, floating like lanterns suspended in the air. They are not ordinary fireflies, their glow pulses in rhythm with her breath, syncing with her very presence, as though the forest itself is aligning to her heartbeat. Each flicker of light reveals subtle markings, symbols etched into the bark of trees, patterns that seem to carry stories from another time. With each step forward, she senses invisible thresholds. The air shifts density, the temperature hums and softens, and hidden sounds emerge like fragments of a song. The wind carries murmurs that resemble voices, yet they are not frightening. They are ancient, filled with wisdom, as though the forest itself speaks in a forgotten language understood not by the mind, but by the soul. The mystery deepens when she notices the horizon bending. Colors above her are not still but fluid, shifting as though the sky itself were liquid, blending and dissolving into new shades with every glance. She wonders, could this be the work of a weary imagination? Or is this land bound by laws of its own, where time is not linear but dances freely? The thought stirs no fear, only fascination. For who would not long to walk in a world where the impossible is natural? Her heartbeat settles into a steady cadence, harmonizing with the rhythm of the land. The symbols, the fragrance of the soil, the silence that speaks, all of it builds toward a single truth. She has crossed into a place where worlds touch. And something awaits her here, though hidden. Then, something subtle appears. Looking ahead, she sees a trail of stones glowing with a radiance that is neither sun nor moon. The stones lie in perfect sequence, old and unmoved, as if placed by hands unseen long before she came. She steps onto the first one, and warmth rises through her body. Not a burning, but a welcome. It feels like recognition, as though these stones are alive and have been waiting to greet her. This first step into the unknown land is more than movement. It is a vow. A silent bond between the traveler and the realm that now surrounds her. By placing her foot upon this soil, she realizes she has not only arrived in a new land, but crossed a boundary within herself. This land is not merely a stage, it is a living presence, a guardian of dreams, an architect of secrets that will unfold only to those who dare to listen to what cannot be spoken aloud. She breathes deeply once more, feeling the mysterious air fill her lungs. Her eyes gleam at the vastness stretching ahead. She knows that every step forward will not only carry her deeper into this strange world, but also into regions within herself yet unexplored. And in this revelation, the unknown land ceases to be merely a destination, it becomes a mirror. A mirror reflecting not what the eyes perceive, but what the soul dares to recognize. Before lying down, the traveler releases a long sigh, deep and almost endless, as if in a single gesture she could let go of the countless memories gathered along endless roads. It is a sigh carrying the weight of sleepless nights, the weariness of steps taken across distant lands, the longing for places that no longer exist, and also the quiet hope that, at last, her journey is ready to rest. This breath is not just air leaving the lungs, it is memories dissolving, invisible marks fading, shadows being released. And as it echoes into the night, the sigh does not disappear. It resounds across the space, like a promise made not only to the body but also to the soul, the promise of true rest. The sound of this sigh drifts through the clearing like a gentle wave. The wind, which until now only brushed lightly across her skin, seems to carry the breath further, spreading it among the trees, over the stones, and across the nearby stream. Leaves shiver as though bowing in response. The forest itself bends in silence, recognizing the greatness within such a simple act, a gesture of someone who surrenders all that was in order to welcome all that will be. There is something sacred in this moment. It is not only the body preparing for rest, it is the soul finally finding permission to release its burdens. Every memory from the long roads, the steps on cold stones, the burn of scorching dunes, the rains that fell without warning, the skies that opened in solemn silence, everything dissolves into the air like dust kissed by moonlight. Nothing more needs to be carried. Nothing more needs to be remembered. And within this sigh lies mystery. For it is not only the traveler who breathes, the land itself seems to inhale and exhale with her. The sound reverberates as though the boundaries between human and nature have faded. In this moment, she and the world around her are one. The sigh no longer belongs only to her, it belongs to the forest, to the stars above, to the flowing waters, to the stones that guard their secrets in silence. A subtle detail catches her awareness. As she exhales, the traveler senses something strange. It feels as though a part of herself has been carried away by the wind, journeying beyond what the eyes can see. The sigh seems to travel to unknown places, crossing invisible thresholds. Perhaps it reaches the dreams of other wanderers. Perhaps it awakens memories hidden deep within the hearts of those who once walked these same lands. Or perhaps it is simply absorbed by the night, transformed into a melody to cradle someone else's sleep. But there is an undeniable sense that the sigh does not end where it was born, it continues, alive, moving beyond her. Her body, after releasing the breath, finds an unexpected lightness. Muscles soften as though a great weight has been lifted. Her heartbeat slows, aligning itself with the quiet rhythm of the night. Her breathing becomes gentle, almost effortless, as though she no longer draws air by her own strength, but instead the night itself breathes on her behalf. This moment stirs silent questions. How many sighs like this have been released in such lands? How many travelers, reaching the edge of their strength, entrusted their weariness, fears, and hopes to the night? And how many of those sighs remain etched into the memory of the earth, becoming echoes that guide the steps of those who arrive later? Perhaps every breath surrendered becomes an invisible key, unlocking hidden doorways within the heart of the world. As she reflects, the traveler understands that this sigh is also a farewell. Not a farewell of sorrow, but of necessity. It is the closing of a chapter, the sealing of a cycle, leaving behind everything that no longer needs to be carried. The sound of her breath is an announcement to the universe. The day's journey has ended, and another begins, the journey of dreams, the voyage inward. The stars above, shining in the vast sky, seem brighter in this moment. Each one glimmers as though it has heard the sigh and now responds with light. It is as if they whisper, "We heard you. We will keep this." And in this way, the promise of rest is not only carried in the air, but also etched in the silent memory of the heavens. For an instant, the traveler closes her eyes. The echo of the sigh still vibrates within her, even though the air has already vanished. It feels as though the night itself has recorded its sound and now returns it in the form of calm. Nothing else needs to be done. Nothing else needs to be said. Only silence remains, deep, embracing, and endless. And within this silence, the sigh transforms into a vow that the night will guard her sleep, a vow that dreams will bring answers, and perhaps even new mysteries, a vow that her body will find relief, and her soul, peace. The sigh, then, is no longer just a gesture, it is a covenant, an invisible bond between traveler and land, between past and future, between exhaustion and renewal. Now her body is ready. Her mind is at ease. Her soul is surrendered. The first step toward deep sleep has already been taken, not with her feet, but with the breath that freed her from what needed to be left behind. And as she prepares to lie down, the traveler knows each sigh is a promise, and each promise is a path leading her closer to rest. But why does her heart beat faster, even in a place so calm? The traveler asks herself this question as the night surrounds her with serenity. Her body is ready for rest, yet her soul silently senses that something more lingers in the air. The silence, no matter how deep, seems to carry hidden voices, ancient secrets that cannot be understood at once. With every heartbeat, a call resounds. It is a mysterious invitation, as though the land itself longs to reveal something that can only be grasped between wakefulness and dreams. She breathes deeply, trying to steady herself, but soon realizes that it is not fear quickening her heart. It is fascination. It is anticipation. It is the sensation of standing before a mystery so vast that even her tired body cannot ignore it. The air carries the weight of secrets, and every shadow around her seems to guard an untold story. The wind whispers, and within its murmur she almost hears words. The tall trees seem to watch her with unseen eyes, and the star-strewn sky glimmers as though holding answers not yet unveiled. Perhaps it is the memory of long roads traveled. Perhaps it is the weight of the symbols etched upon the cabin walls. Or perhaps it is something greater, the certainty that these unknown lands are not only an outer realm, but also a reflection of inner landscapes yet unexplored. Her heart does not race without reason. It senses that dreams will bring revelations, that every beat is a step closer to what remains concealed. In this moment, the traveler understands that she does not need to decipher everything now. Curiosity is not an obstacle to rest, it is a doorway. The quickened heartbeat is like a key knocking at the gate of dreams, asking for passage. And as she surrenders to sleep, she will know that the night, in its silent wisdom, will reveal what needs to be revealed in its own time. Perhaps the mystery lies in something the eyes did not see, but the heart sensed. Perhaps it is only the voice of the soul itself, awakening before sleep takes hold. What matters is that between the last sigh of consciousness and the first touch of dreams, the answer draws near. And the heart, in beating faster, is only announcing, something is waiting, and you may discover it before sleep arrives. She finds a simple refuge, a wooden cabin standing quietly within the clearing, lit by gentle torches that cast a golden, flickering light across the walls. The scene feels prepared long before her arrival, as though the earth itself had designed this shelter to welcome her. There is no excess, no grand ornament, only the beauty of simplicity, simplicity that protects, that embraces, that invites her into rest. As she draws closer, the traveler notices how every detail hums with harmony. The wood, aged by time, releases a faint aroma, reminding her of old houses that carry memories within their fibers. The torches, steady in their holders, sway as if moving to the rhythm of the forest's breath. The door, slightly ajar, reveals an interior warmed by a flame that not only illuminates but soothes. It is impossible not to feel that the entire space has been shaped to offer peace. Inside, a bed awaits. It is not luxurious, yet it carries an irresistible invitation. Soft fabrics drape across it, fabrics that seem to hold both the coolness of night and the warmth of the day. When her fingers brush over them, a wave of comfort flows through her body, as though each thread had been woven to ease her weariness and dissolve her unease. The air carries a faint scent of night-blooming flowers. A fragrance delicate, almost invisible, yet deeply present. It does not overwhelm, it does not intrude. It lingers, blending with the space, as though the night itself had chosen the gentlest blossoms to perfume the room. It is the kind of scent that cradles without commanding, that soothes without effort, that slips into the breath and gently guides toward surrender. The traveler breathes deeply and realizes she has found more than a physical shelter. She has found a sanctuary, a space where time feels suspended, where the outer world cannot reach. Each shadow cast by the torches moves slowly, telling silent tales of others who may have rested here. The wooden floor creaks beneath her step, but the sound is not unwelcome. It is like an old song, welcoming the arrival of another soul. This secret shelter is not only a place of rest, but also of mystery. Who built it? Who lit the torches? Were they traces left by other wanderers who once found refuge here? Or was it the land itself that, in its wisdom, raised this haven so that every weary spirit would have a place to lie down? These questions do not bring unease, only wonder. For every shelter that appears at the exact right moment feels more like destiny than chance. Lying upon the bed, the traveler feels every detail conspiring in favor of rest. The texture of the fabrics, the soft glow of the flame, the fragrance of the flowers, the distant song of the wind slipping through the cracks, all of it comes together like a silent orchestra playing just for her. The shelter enfolds her, protects her, invites her to release her body and allow sleep to arrive as a long-awaited guest. And deep down, she senses that this shelter is not only made of wood and cloth. It is also built of memories, of promises, of dreams once dreamt by others. She understands that she is lying in a place that holds invisible stories, and that her own story, on this very night, will also be written there. The secret shelter, then, is not only physical but symbolic. It represents surrender, the moment one leaves the outer world behind and opens the heart to deep rest. Breathing in the fragrance of the night-blooming flowers, feeling the bed embrace every part of her body, she knows she has found a temporary home, yet one that feels eternal. For every true rest becomes part of eternity. A stream runs nearby, producing a repetitive and soothing melody, perfect for cradling sleep. It is not simply the sound of water flowing, it is as though every drop has learned to sing in harmony with the heart of the one who listens. The steady movement of the current creates a natural cadence, with no beginning and no end, dissolving the passage of time and inviting the body to surrender to serenity. It is a sound that does not distract, but enfolds. It does not demand attention, but offers comfort. The traveler draws near and watches the current reflecting the soft lights of the night. The starlight lies upon the surface, turning the stream into a liquid mirror that holds the entire sky within it. The gentle murmur of water slipping over stones feels like the earth itself is breathing in harmony with the universe. Each ripple, each splash, each bend of the flow is like a note of an endless song, cradling not only the body, but also the soul. With eyes closed, it becomes impossible not to feel the calm the water brings to her thoughts. Ideas that once rushed now slow, dissolving like foam carried away by the current. The mind rests because it no longer needs to hold on. It simply follows the stream, gentle, steady, eternal. The heartbeat slows, aligning with the rhythm of the flow, as if finding in the water an ancient master teaching the art of rest. Yet there is a mystery hidden within this sound. It is not only water moving forward. It is as though voices sleep inside it, memories blended with the wind, stories etched into every submerged stone. The stream seems to guard the secrets of all who have passed through these lands, transforming their journeys into music. Perhaps that is why it cradles so deeply, because it carries within it the wisdom of countless paths. The traveler lies upon the bed, allowing the sound to fill her. There is no effort required, the stream does the guiding. Her body loosens without trying, muscles softening, eyes growing heavier. It feels as though each drop striking stone far away is also touching her skin, massaging it with invisible calm. This sound is more than company. It is a reminder that life itself is flow. Just as water does not resist its path, but follows it with surrender, so too does sleep arrive when there is no resistance. The stream teaches that rest is not giving up, it is accepting. It is trusting that movement continues even when eyes close, that the world carries on while the mind withdraws. The melody of the water becomes, then, a portal. Between every ripple against stone, between every wave dissolving into silence, the traveler perceives the opening of invisible paths leading her inward. With each passing moment, the sound carries her closer to dreams. Each drop becomes a key, unlocking inner doors and revealing hidden landscapes. Thus, the stream is not merely part of the scenery, it is the very cradle of slumber. It is the voice of the night, whispering in liquid murmurs, "Let yourself go, it is time to rest." And within that silent invitation, the traveler understands she has found not only shelter, but also the perfect song to guide her sleep into the deepest lands of peace. The gentle breeze drifts through the open windows, brushing against her skin and carrying with it the sensation of being embraced. It is not an ordinary wind, neither cold nor hurried. It is a breeze that seems to know the rhythm of the night, moving with the precision of something created only to comfort. As it enters the cabin, it wanders slowly through the space, touching the walls, playing with the flames of the torches, and swaying the fabric that drapes across the bed. Every detail responds to this tender presence, as though the wind were an old, respected guest. When it reaches the traveler, the effect is immediate. The breeze glides across her face, cooling it, softening the heat her body still carries after long days of travel. It drifts down her neck, slides along her arms, wraps her hands, and continues toward her feet, spreading a sensation of lightness. It feels as though the wind has invisible hands, capable of untying knots of tension and restoring vitality to tired skin. With every breath of air, the traveler feels the world itself embracing her, whispering silently, "You are safe. You may rest." There is also something enchanting in the sound of the wind. It does not rush in violently, it arrives as a whisper, weaving subtle melodies that blend with the stream nearby. Together, they form a natural lullaby, an orchestra of the night. The wooden frames of the window vibrate softly, and instead of disturbing the silence, the sound soothes it. The traveler realizes she is surrounded by layers of music: the water, the wind, the gentle crackle of the torches, the branches brushing against one another outside. All come together in harmony, creating a place where sleep does not simply occur, it blossoms. Yet there is a mystery in the way the wind moves. It is not content with cooling the air, it feels as though it carries hidden messages, ancient voices she cannot understand yet somehow senses. At times the breeze seems to call her name, at others, it resembles the distant laughter of forgotten memories. Perhaps it is imagination, or perhaps it is the land itself speaking to the one who has arrived. Whatever the truth, each whisper deepens the certainty that she is not alone. Her body, already softened by rest, surrenders to the touch of the wind. She feels no need to resist, no reason to hold on. The delicate current dissolves any remaining stiffness, inviting her body to sink deeper into the bed, allowing her eyes to close without effort. With every passing breath, the breeze offers comfort, as if it had come only to remind her, now it is your time to rest. In that instant, the traveler understands that the wind is not only a natural force. It is a language of the night, a bridge between the outer world and the inner one. The wind moves through the window and across the room, but it also moves through her mind, sweeping away worries, clearing unnecessary thoughts, and opening space for the dreams about to come. It does not push, it does not force, it simply guides, like an invisible companion who knows the hidden paths to deep sleep. Thus, the wind becomes a silent ally, a presence that asks for nothing yet gives everything: freshness, lightness, and comfort. And as the traveler rests within this breeze, she realizes that there are no boundaries left between her body and the world around her. She is part of the night, and the night is part of her. The touch of the wind seals this union, reminding her that rest is not solitude but communion with the universe. In the sky, constellations the traveler had never seen before shine brightly, as though keeping watch over her sleep. They are not the familiar figures she once recognized in other places, no Southern Cross, no belt of Orion. Instead, unfamiliar shapes take form across the heavens, weaving mysterious patterns as if created solely for this night, for these eyes. Each star flickers with a unique brilliance, and together they form a living tapestry, a shimmering veil stretched across the world as a promise of protection. The traveler lifts her gaze and feels watched, yet not in fear. Each shining point above her seems like a silent guardian, attentive, constant, present. The stars do not speak, but their light conveys a message as clear as words: you are not alone. The sensation of comfort grows stronger, as though the universe itself has bent closer, ensuring she can rest in peace. The sky appears to breathe with her. When she inhales, the stars seem to blaze more intensely. When she exhales, their glow softens, as if the cosmos itself is breathing along with her. This harmony creates an invisible bond between the traveler and the infinite, between her small body resting on the bed and the vastness that stretches beyond all measure. Yet mystery stirs within her curiosity. Some stars align into shapes resembling ancient inscriptions, as if the heavens were a great open book. Perhaps they are messages left behind by generations of wanderers, souls from other ages who also found rest beneath this same sky. Or perhaps they are stories that can only be understood within dreams, when the mind transcends the boundaries of time and space. As she watches, a profound calm settles over her. The starlight dissolves the last fragments of unease. Each luminous point feels like a spark of peace, falling slowly upon her, filling every corner within. Her thoughts grow still, her breath lighter, her body entirely ready to cross the invisible bridge that leads into deep sleep. The night sky, filled with its shining guardians, is not only a backdrop, it is presence itself. A presence that protects, that guides, that remains. The traveler understands that even as she drifts into sleep, she will remain under the watch of the stars, steadfast and eternal, like guiding beacons along the path of dreams. And in that instant, before closing her eyes, she allows herself a gentle smile. For beneath this starry mantle, there is no loneliness, only the certainty that the universe itself, in silence, keeps vigil over her rest. Who lived here before? What do these symbols carved into the wall mean? The traveler studies the signs around her and realizes that this shelter holds secrets that cannot be deciphered at once. The lines etched into the wood are not ordinary drawings, they resemble inscriptions from another time, perhaps another reality. They speak without words, riddles that spark curiosity but withhold explanations. She runs her fingertips across the carvings and feels a shiver, as though the wood still carries the energy of the hands that once shaped them. Some resemble interwoven stars, others resemble crossing rivers, and still others form repeating circular patterns, like unfinished mandalas. All of them suggest that this refuge is not only physical but also spiritual, built not just to house weary bodies but also to hold stories, preserve memories, and guard dreams. Her heart quickens slightly, not in fear but in fascination. Who could have left these marks? Were they wanderers like herself, finding rest beneath the same roof? Or were they left by dwellers of a time so ancient it has vanished into the dust of centuries? Each possibility opens an invisible door, a path that allows the imagination to roam freely. She wonders if she will ever understand these symbols. Perhaps not. Perhaps the answers are not meant for waking hours but for dreams. Perhaps, when she surrenders to deep sleep, her mind will cross the boundary of consciousness and decipher what now seems indecipherable. The mystery, instead of disturbing her, soothes her. For realizing that one does not need to hold all the answers is itself a kind of rest. The shelter, then, becomes more than a place to sleep, it is a temple of silence. Each symbol is a question carved into time, waiting for the moment when someone, in the midst of slumber, opens themselves to listen. The traveler accepts this invitation. She knows that when she closes her eyes, she may find in her dreams the answers that now hide from her. Or perhaps she will find only new questions. But that is enough, for every riddle is also a path. And so, surrounded by unanswered questions, she allows herself to smile. Uncertainty is not a threat, but a promise. A promise that dreams, with their secret language, will bring revelations only the heart can understand. Perhaps not tonight, perhaps not tomorrow, but somewhere between the real and the imagined, the answers will come. And until then, the mystery will continue to cradle her rest, like a silent song leading her into deep sleep. She lies down, closes her eyes, and feels the weight of her body surrender to the bed. Each muscle relaxes slowly, as though obeying a silent command whispered by the night itself. Her shoulders, which had carried so much, finally release. Her hands, so often clenched in effort, now open softly, resting without tension. Her legs, strong upon the path during the day, give way and yield to stillness. It feels as if her entire body, cell by cell, understands that the time for rest has arrived. Her breathing finds a new rhythm, deep and steady. Each inhale draws in freshness, each exhale releases the weight of the day. Slowly, her mind follows the same cadence, slowing down, surrendering to the natural flow. Thoughts that once ran swiftly become gentle images, dissolving like mist fading with the dawn. Nothing needs to be solved now. Nothing needs to be held on to. Only the silence of a body at rest, only the invisible embrace of the bed cradling her. The surroundings contribute perfectly. The gentle flame fills the room with calming shadows, the distant stream maintains its steady melody, the breeze enters like invisible hands stroking her skin. Everything conspires in favor of sleep, everything whispers that there is no urgency, no danger, nothing to fear. It is a setting prepared not only to close the eyes, but to open the heart to deep rest. And even with her eyes shut, she remembers the stars above. She knows they remain outside, shining, keeping watch over her. That certainty brings peace. Sleep is not absence, but the presence of something greater, a silent trust in the universe that surrounds her. Each loosened muscle is a door opening. Each deep breath is a key turning slowly, unlocking the portals to dreams. The traveler feels herself crossing an invisible bridge, guided by the calm of the night. The body surrenders, the mind yields, and the soul prepares to wander through landscapes not yet known. There is no rush to fall asleep. Sleep is not commanded, it is invited. It arrives gently, like a welcome guest who honors the rhythm of the host. And when it finally draws near, it does not come alone, but accompanied by a sense of wholeness. It feels as though every part of the traveler is being filled with an ancient peace, one as old as the cosmos itself. Thus, preparing for sleep is not only physical. It is also a spiritual ritual, a meeting between what one is and what one dreams, a space where consciousness bids farewell to the outer world to make way for the infinity within. And in that moment, the traveler understands, to fall asleep is also an act of trust. Trust that the body knows how to restore itself, trust that the mind knows how to renew itself, trust that the night knows how to cradle her into slumber. A deeper sigh escapes the traveler's lips. Unlike the first, which carried the mark of relief and the release of memories from the road, this one carries something else: surrender. There is no rush, no tension, no trace of resistance. Only the natural flow of rest. The breath leaves slowly, heavy and light at once, as though carrying away the last fragments of wakefulness that remained. This second sigh is not just breathing, it is a silent pact with the night. It is as if the traveler whispers to the universe, "Now is the moment. I surrender." The bed answers with softness, embracing her body more fully, shaping itself as if it had been crafted just for her. The entire environment seems to recognize the importance of this moment. The breeze lessens its intensity, the distant stream gentles its song, the torch flames flicker with greater calm. Everything seems to pause to witness this simple yet sacred act. The second sigh marks the transition between two worlds. Until now, she was still tied to the physical space, conscious of the stars, the walls, the sounds. But from this moment on, the line between outer reality and inner reality begins to fade. It feels like crossing an invisible threshold, where the body remains on earth while the soul begins to journey beyond. Every detail contributes to deepening this descent. The soft warmth against her skin, the subtle fragrance of night-blooming flowers, the liquid murmur of the stream, the gentle touch of the breeze, all merge into a single sensory experience, guiding the traveler inward. It is not only physical rest, but also communion with greater forces, as though the universe itself were conspiring to bring her into the deepest state of peace. There is also symbolism in this sigh. If the first was one of release, this is one of trust. To release is to create space. To trust is to allow that space to be filled. The traveler not only lets go of what no longer needs to be carried, but also allows herself to be cradled, knowing she will be sustained. It is a sigh that seals a quiet agreement between body and soul. Both are ready for rest. And as this breath fades, the traveler feels there is nothing more to do. Sleep is no longer an expectation but a presence. It surrounds her, drawing closer, caressing every part of her being until it becomes inevitable. The second sigh announces not only surrender but also certainty, the certainty that deep sleep has arrived, gentle, inevitable, embracing. In that moment, time loses all importance. Seconds no longer count, hours no longer weigh. What exists is only the expanded now, where consciousness withdraws and dreams begin to emerge. The body, completely released, sinks into deeper layers of calm. The mind, silent, asks no more questions. It simply observes, a witness to the most natural and magical of processes, falling asleep. Thus, the second sigh is not an ending, but a beginning. It is the portal opening into the night's journey, into landscapes only sleep can reveal. It is the final gesture of wakefulness, transformed into the key that unlocks the realm of dreams. As she drifts into sleep, the traveler notices the sounds of the night beginning to change. What once were clear melodies, the stream running, the wind brushing through the cracks, the gentle crackle of the torches, now transform into soft echoes, almost unreal, as though the night itself were slowly dissolving into another dimension. These sounds no longer remain outside her, they resonate within, guiding her invisible steps toward landscapes even more serene. The line between reality and dream fades. The traveler feels she is no longer simply lying down but walking across a terrain shaped by her breathing. Each inhale opens a path of light, each exhale closes behind her the doors of the waking world. Sleep does not arrive abruptly, but as a gentle transition, where everything is wrapped in a golden haze. She hears the water's murmur turn into a distant song, like a liquid harp played by unseen hands. The breeze, once cool upon her skin, now carries a welcoming voice, whispering words she cannot understand yet feels deeply. Even the stars appear to sing, sending out silent notes that vibrate within her soul. Every element of the night joins together, forming an orchestra of echoes that belongs not to the physical world but to the realm of dreams. In this space, her body no longer weighs her down. The traveler feels light, as if floating between layers of silence and music. Each imagined step carries her deeper, further into the unknown. And yet, there is no fear. Only calm. Only the serene certainty that she is being guided toward a safe place where the soul can both rest and expand. Landscapes begin to unfold before her. Fields lit by gentle lights, rivers shining like liquid silver, trees breathing as though they had hearts. Everything appears alive, but with a different kind of life, a life woven of essence, of dream. What once existed only in imagination now presents itself as a tangible reality within sleep. She realizes the sounds are not merely accompanying her but leading her. Each echo is like an invisible thread pulling her gently forward. There are no choices to make, for everything is already aligned. All she must do is follow. And in following, the traveler allows herself to be carried further and further, until she completely loses all sense of time. Thus, the entrance into the dream world does not happen suddenly, but like the slow opening of an ancient door. A door that creaks softly, revealing a secret space. With every passing moment, the traveler crosses a new threshold, sensing that she is entering a realm where anything is possible, where every detail can be shaped by her own soul. This moment is a gift. The transition between wakefulness and dream is delicate, magical, and unrepeatable. It is the instant when the last thread of reality is released, allowing one to plunge into the infinity of imagination. The traveler understands this as she lets herself be guided by the echoes of the night, becoming fainter and fainter until they vanish completely. And then, complete silence. A silence that is not emptiness but fullness. A silence that announces, "Now you have entered." The traveler no longer feels her body, no longer perceives the weight of the world. She is entirely within the dream space, where deep rest blossoms, and where the soul prepares for invisible journeys only the night can offer. And now, you too may allow your mind to cross this invisible bridge. Take a deep breath, and follow the path of deep sleep, just like the traveler. Imagine yourself lying down, your body growing lighter and lighter, as though gravity itself had softened until it nearly disappeared. Each breath you take in and release becomes a key, opening new doors within you, leading you toward realms of calm and silence. There is no need to hurry. Sleep does not demand effort, it simply arrives when you allow it. All you need is to follow the same gentle rhythm as the traveler, who entrusted the weight of her journeys to the universe and let the night guide her. Now, you too can trust. Feel the air entering slowly, refreshing your chest, and leaving gently, carrying away every trace of concern. With each sigh, your body loosens a little more. Your shoulders release, your arms grow light, your legs sink into the bed. Your mind, once awake, begins to settle into gentle images. It is like walking slowly through a corridor lit by calm torches, until you find a door that opens into the world of dreams. You do not need to force anything, all you need is to follow. And as you follow, notice that sleep is not emptiness, but fertile space. Within it, you will find rest, but also beauty, stories, and landscapes that belong only to you. Just as the traveler discovered, every dream is a secret realm where the body heals and the soul blossoms. So, allow yourself to cross this invisible bridge. Take a deep breath, exhale slowly, and let your mind walk with ease. Deep sleep is already beside you, ready to embrace you. All you need is to accept the night's silent invitation and let yourself be guided. If this story has calmed your heart and brought peace to your night, allow that serenity to reach even further. Subscribe to the channel and share this moment with someone who also deserves to rest in serenity. Each time you share, you are not simply spreading a story, you are spreading peace, guiding others into this same space of calm and comfort. May your dreams be light, your breathing steady, and your night profoundly restorative. Remember that every time you allow yourself to rest, the universe finds a new way to care for you. May deep sleep wrap around you like a protective cloak, guiding your mind into the realms of peace that await in the silence of the night. As you close your eyes, imagine the stars that kept watch over the traveler also shining above you, guarding your sleep and illuminating your dreams. And if you wish, return here whenever you need new stories, new paths of serenity, and new invitations to rest. This channel is here to be your refuge, your secret shelter, whenever life asks for pause. Good night, and may calmness stay with you until the dawn.